Dear colleagues, mėly susirinkę žurnalistai.
I'm in a very anxious situation. Since 1999, I've been here represented spokesperson for my party, my political party, and now I was asked to organize the conference with my colleagues in the EPP in the European Parliament. I'm very glad to have here with me the leader of the EPP Group in the European Parliament and other colleagues. I will briefly introduce them. We have here with us Mr. Manfred Weber, as I have said, leader of the EPP Group in the European Parliament, Petteri Orpo, chair of the Finnish National Coalition Party. This is an opposition party in Finland, but now the president of Finland is a former leader of this party, Mr. Arvils Ašeradins, chair of the Unity Party in Latvia, Rina Solman, vice chair of the Estonian Isama Party, Radvilė Morkūnaitė Mikulėnienė, chair of the Homeland Union Lithuanian Christian Democratic Political Group, chair of the Seimas Committee on European Affairs.
Yeah, Radha, thank you so much for introducing the team here. It's a great honor for us to be here in Lithuania, in Vilnius today. And the message is that the European People's Party is the largest political family in Europe. We are in the European Parliament, the biggest faction there, and European-wide we have the best outcome for the elections in the last European elections. As a European People's Party, we want to be together here in the region to show in this moment of history unity and give a clear signal. We are also happy that, especially here in Lithuania, we have with the Prime Minister a strong voice of EPP and of Lithuania, first of all, defending the interests of Europe, and also with Krišjānis Kariņš in Latvia. We have two EPP politicians in the lead of two important countries of the region, and having this in mind, again, this is for us a key area to show up and to defend our common understanding what to do. I want to clarify that this week is a historic week. We have to get this. We have to create this awareness. Not everywhere in Europe people have the same feeling, probably like it is the case here in the Baltic countries, and we have to underline this. It's an historic week. Fundamentally, things are changing in today's Europe, and we are waking up in a new Europe, in a new reality. And that is driven by the unacceptable move from Vladimir Putin that he's taking sovereignty and the borders of a sovereign country into question. The reason to clarify this is not the threat of NATO, the security threat towards Russia. The reason behind this, the biggest threat for Vladimir Putin is a free and a democratic Ukraine. He's afraid about the ideas behind. He's afraid about our way of living, and that is the biggest threat for him. As EPP Group, we delivered already very intensively towards our Ukraine friends in the European Parliament. We gave green light for a trade agreement with Ukraine. We gave green light for free visa traveling towards Ukraine. And last week we agreed also on a 1.2 billion euro package to financially assist our Ukraine friends in this moment of time. So we showed already our strong solidarity. We delivered already. And now we go further steps together with the Foreign Affairs Council meeting to activate now the sanctions. You know, I, especially with my personal German background, I have to say I'm absolutely happy that yesterday the German government understood that Nord Stream 2 cannot be continued. That was so urgently needed. We as EPP, I myself as group leader, we asked for this since years already. Now it is done. That was a major step of credibility of the Western world and winning back also credibility for Germany as a leading country in Europe. So that was urgently needed, but we need more steps. And on the sanctions list, we welcome the decisions on European level. And finally, we must understand that currently we are reacting and we need a proactive strategy for the future. That means the whole development is also a wake-up call that we have to show strength on European level on foreign affairs and defense more together, to join our forces, to be better prepared for the storms of the future. That is linked currently to Russia, but being here in Lithuania, it's also linked to China, because it's also an ongoing discussion here, where we show full solidarity together with Valdis Dombrovskis, with our Lithuanian friends in this battle for independent positioning on the Taiwan question. So that's about some introductory remarks, and I would really be happy to include now colleagues from the national level. Again, the main idea is that we show a unified approach as EPP family towards the current threats in front of us.
Thanks. Petteri, floor is yours.
Mr. Petteri Orpos, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. For me, this is very important to be here in Vilnius with EPP family to show solidarity to Ukraine and to each other. We, countries from Northern Europe, from Baltic countries, and all the European countries neighboring Russia, we have our own experiences in history, how to deal with Russia and its aggression. And we know that we have to be strong and we have to be united. We cannot let any country alone. That is why it is so important we are here today and looking forward how to support Ukraine, but also Belarusian opposition to manage this very difficult and dangerous situation. We have to put clear red lines to Putin. We cannot accept his behavior. Decades ago, I think no one of us couldn't imagine the situation we are here today. So we have to be united and we have to be strong. And I want to thank our hosts here in Lithuania and also Manfred Weber to bring us here, and thank all the good discussions. And finally, I would like to say that we have to be united and strong against Russia.
Thank you. Aš taip pat noriu pridėti, kad Petteri yra taip pat.
I want to add that Mr. Petteri Orpo is also vice chair of the EPP Party.
Arvils, Latvijos vienotyba.
Mr. Arvils Ašradans, chair of the Unity Party of Latvia.
Yeah, first it's a great opportunity, Manfred, to be together, and as already it was said, we're facing a unique moment in Europe's modern history where we're in a situation what was created by move of Russia is created a new way of unity in Western world, and the scale is unbelievable. We see that there is unity in region here, in Baltics, in Eastern Europe, and there is a unity in European Union. There is unity with our NATO allies in Washington, and there is other countries all around the world, including Eastern countries like Japan or others. And now we're talking really about situation where the old system of security architecture in Europe is how to say, significantly questioned, or we should say after the situation with Minsk agreement, we could say it's gone actually, and we have to think about new one, and this is very important to come colleagues together and create unanimous solidarity position with Ukraine and Eastern Bloc countries. And I would say why it's very important. It is the situation is challenging not only Ukraine. It's challenging our way of living, our way of security system, and I would say it's challenging even NATO in some way, and particularly in this region. I would say it's not new. If we see the attention of Russia with Belarusian regime to create this new migration flow, we call it Eastern flow, and that was really challenging. It has been challenge for Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia. And I would say, on first step, we had acted very effectively and stopped this process. And let's say this region is already challenged, and this region will be it will be in future challenge. But come here to be together and united, that's the most important thing what we can do today. Thank you.
And now Rina Solman, Estijos Isama partijos vicepirmininkė.
Rina Solman, Estonian Isama Party Vice Chair.
Family members, so thank you. And regarding what should Europe do to stand together against the Russian aggression? Nobody in Europe benefits from war in Ukraine. Therefore, we strongly support European unity and sanctioning Russia with the hardest and condemning its hostile actions. Estonia is keeping its embassy and diplomats in Kiev. Our President Alar Karis visited yesterday Kiev. This is one way how to demonstrate our support to Ukraine. So Western diplomats' presence in Kiev, followed by visits of government leaders, would be a strong signal both to Russia and Ukraine, indicating that Ukraine is not alone. So Estonia observe the situation in Ukraine very carefully and provide more assistance, both military and civilian if needed. Our parliament will take one more declaration to support Ukraine. I hope it will be today. So thank you for the attention.
Thank you. Ir dabar Radvilė Morkūnaitė Mikulėnienė, jos pristatys.
Thank you. Now Radvilė Morkūnaitė Mikulėnienė, the floor is yours. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I have to express my satisfaction that today we have an opportunity to meet all together representatives of our political family here in the Lithuanian Seimas. And we didn't even have to convince each other very much regarding what geopolitical situation we have been living for long decades and what aggressive policy Putin's Russia is carrying out. However, the efforts of all of us have led to the situation that today we are all speaking in one voice in Europe. The sanctions, including the Germany's decision with regard to Nord Stream 2 project, the positions of our political leaders with regarding to support, let's say, in migrant situation, is all the result of our long cooperation, and I'm really satisfied with the situation which gives concrete results. Probably the public would even prefer a stronger response to Russia's aggression against Ukraine, and here we have to speak not only about Ukraine but also about Belarus, where we have a highly concerning situation because of the presence of Russia's troops there. And the expectations of the public would be perhaps stronger sanctions, more severe sanctions. What we hear from our Minister of Foreign Affairs as well as other ministers of the European Union is that we can hope for a wider response to Russia's aggression. However, here we should also think about the strategy to take an appropriate decision in the European Union, whether we are satisfied with the situation as it is today when we stand united, or whether we should shift to voting of qualified majority, trying to properly respond to the challenges posed by non-democratic regimes. The discussion that we have had today and the one we had yesterday were focused on the situation in Ukraine and Belarus, but we have also had a chance to discuss other matters related to energy, financial matters within the European Union, the matters that we are really concerned about, even though all these matters seem to be sort of secondary in the face of the possible war. But certainly life is going on and we have to be practical, we have to be stronger, and certainly the most important is that we stay united. Thank you, Radvile Morkūnaitė. And to conclude, I would like just to mention that this visit is a 2-day visit of the European People's Party leaders to Lithuania. Yesterday, we had meetings with politologists, political analysts who explained the situation, and one of the main important things was a visit to Rukla yesterday, where we met NATO troops, both Lithuanian troops and also representatives of our alliance. Particularly, I would like to emphasize the importance of the leadership of Germany in the context of the NATO alliance. I would just like to stress that Germany is the only EU member state that has undertook the responsibility in one of the 4 points where battle groups are deployed. It is an extremely significant contribution, not only for NATO, but also in the context of the whole EU. Yesterday in the evening, we also met Mrs. Svetlana Tsikhanovskaya, her team, where we spoke a lot about the opposition of Belarus, its activities. EPP is extremely active in supporting people fighting for freedom in their own country. And this press conference and the meetings that we have had today also included our Prime Minister, Ingrida Šimonytė, as well as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Gabrielius Landsbergis. We are also going to meet other experts today, and it will conclude our visit. Let me just take this opportunity and thank the colleagues from the European People's Party, as well as representatives of our neighbors. Our message is clear. We are united. We want to be strong. And today we can really deny the statement that Western Europeans don't always understand the situation, especially with regard to Russia. Today, I can firmly say that we all are extremely united and everyone perfectly understands the situation. I very much hope that we will one day see a different Russia, and this is something that we have to be united for. Colleagues, do you have any questions?
My question would be directed towards Mr. Weber. And
Can you introduce yourself?
yes, I'm sorry. I'm Claudia Gudaitytė from Lietuvos Rytas Television. And my question would be, what is your position regarding Nord Stream 2?
Nord Stream 2 was one of the major mistakes of German government under Gerhard Schröder to start the project. It created more dependence towards Russian gas and not more independence, and what we need is independence. So that was a major mistake in the energy policy of Germany. The second major mistake was that it was not coordinated, not discussed with our European friends. It was a purely national initiative, and that is not the way how we should work on European level. We should do it together, we should coordinate it together. So that's why if you look back into the decision-making process years ago, it was really a major mistake from the German government. And that's why you can imagine I am extremely happy that yesterday the German government finally understood that we cannot continue, that Germany cannot continue with this project. We have enough gas pipelines. What we are lacking is a reliable partner on the Russian side. That is what we are lacking currently. And we don't accept that, from an EPP point of view, we don't accept that these gas pipelines are misused as political weapons against our Ukraine friends, because that is the purpose of the whole investment. So a very clear position, EPP, I myself, we were always against the project, and in this regard, yesterday was a good day.
Ačiū visiems, ačiū.
Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you to all the participants. Thank you for those who are listening to us online. And now we have to proceed with our activities and wish you everyone a good day. Thank you.